Hello and welcome back, adventurers. Get comfy as we start our tale of the melancholic domain of Keening. Keening is a blasted land, bereft of any life. The natural surroundings of neighboring realms fade quickly as one crosses into Keening, the flora growing twisted and stunted, the creatures kept at bay by a nameless dread. Tapis forests shrink first into scattered corpses of trees, then into patches of thorny scrub. The transformation certain trees go through the forest of Keening mimics the transformation of the golem flesh, becoming stronger, denser, and far less porous. Some oaks in the desolate area petrify, their trunks develop a peculiar density similar to that of granite. Gradually, even these features recede. The dry, greedy soil beneath the traveler's feet vanishes, leaving black and scattered stone. Lichens of pale yellow, green, and blue encrust the stones, lending the region an otherworldly vividness amid the surrounding grey. Many stones were apparently arranged in deliberately vague patterns, although the significance of these arrangements eluded me. The Tepistani believe that each rock is a tombstone for a fey soul that now slumbers in the Mount Lament, hence the name for the wastes that surround the mountains, the boggart graveyards. The graveyards surround and segregate Mount Lament from the Mountains of Misery. Draconian dwarves hold that it once stood to the east, sister to volcanic mountains near Kynid. When the scourge ravaged Arak in the 6th century, the mists are said to have uprooted Mount Lament and set it down far to the west. The Tepistani, meanwhile, speak of Mount Lament rising from the earth overnight like a festering boil, an upheaval unleashed at the hand of the evil fairy queen, Tristessa. The ascent is torturous, as I can attest from the first-hand experience. Even at the foot of the mountains, the journey is a breathless, labyrinthine hike over barren stone. Jagged ridges and sheer crevasses appear suddenly as though out of spite, and eventually becoming a grueling test of mountaineering skill. Mount Lament itself is an eerie, jagged ridge that rises eastward to an unspectacular, blunt summit. Wisps of white fog crown the peak, heedless of the weather. Natural hazards abound on the mountainsides. Rock slides of dusty gravel are not uncommon and can prove fatal when triggered beneath the boot of a traveler. Brittle, chalky deposits, which Draconians dub a bone powder, occur throughout the slopes of Mount Lament. These appear to be as normal outcroppings of rock to an untrained eye, but crumble away into white dust when an unsuspecting hand or foot finds purchase here. The notorious groaning winds of Keening are a constant presence in the mountains. The winds carry an unnatural chill year-round, and the sound as they whip across the mountain slopes varies from a low groan to a shrill shrieking. The strength of the wind grows as one ascends towards Mount Lament. Near the summit, the violent gusts threaten to tear a climber from the peak. Keening boasts no verdant forest or grasslands. Nothing but stone lies here. On such harsh terrain, only pale lichens and mosses can thrive, nurtured by the feeble sunlight. This withered specimen cling with primeval tenacity to the cobbles and boulders. Even they vanish as one ascends higher into the mountains. But even here, adventurers should be wary of a few unassuming hazards, such as the wasp stigmas. Embedded in this soft, pale olive plant are thousands of tiny needles, formed from minerals extracted from the surrounding rock. When mature, the moss's yellow and black spore capsules can be squeezed to produce a bitter goo that staves off hunger. Another dangerous plant is troll flesh, a lichen that even savvy wilderness travelers may overlook. Occurring in stone-gray wrinkled mats, the plant releases spores when touched. Those who breathe in these spores begin to suffer from a panic delusion that sunlight will turn them to stone. Keening has no native animals. I saw not so much as a single beetle during my stay. Even the creatures from neighboring realms stay far away from Keening, avoiding the border as though some dangerous predators lurk beyond it. Undead are the only creatures encountered with any frequency in Keening, and they comprise 3 separate groups. First come the undead that have wandered into Keening from surrounding lands to make their lairs here. The lifeless nature of Keening suits their twisted tastes, and more rapacious undead find that it makes an excellent staging ground for raids on other realms. Second are the undead of the village of Marb Qatar, those souls trapped with Keening when the scourge ravaged Arak. These creatures rarely leave their cursed village or even react to anyone visiting it. Finally, there are undead fae, the spirits of nature that have for some reason lingered in the living world and found their way to Mount Lament. The Tepistani call such fell creatures the Witherbin. They appear throughout the realm of dread, but particularly in lands close to the Shadow Rift. Fae may become a Witherbin usually when slain suddenly by the brutal violence of powerful death magic. In Undeath, Witherbin are compelled to travel towards Mount Lament. If it cannot reach Mount Lament within a fortnight of its death, it is destroyed, consumed by ghostly fire at the next sunrise. When numerous Fae die in a massacre or arcane catastrophe, the result is a black trooping, as the Witherbin march in a single file towards Keening. Black troopings carry a nearly palpable aura of melancholy. Occasionally, monsters from other lands may wander into Keening, but these creatures rarely linger long. Even the natural beasts seem to sense their forsaken pull prevalent here. Thank you so much for your time, patient listeners. A lot of people seem to be content to ignore Keening's existence, but maybe my research will help us not repeat the mistakes of our past. But for now, just be careful while crossing the mists.